Hi guys, say
What's
hi
going
Bella.
My daddy is a hero.
2 or so hours, and I just wanted to go live and show you guys the Thrive Bites and how they look. So try it out. Super easy to make. Even you can make it. If Chris can make it, you can make it.
Anybody can make it. Anybody.
The Chris Watts story, a family tragedy, the illusion of a perfect family. Chris Watts and Shanann Watts seemed to have the ideal life. Living in Frederick, Colorado, the couple was blessed with 2 beautiful daughters, Bella and Celeste, and were expecting their 3rd child.
I know. Boy. Chris wants a boy. I hope it's a boy for him. It'll make him happy.
So pink means...
That's just the test.
I know. It just says the pink is going to be girls.
I don't know. Just the test.
That's awesome.
Chris worked for Anadarko Petroleum, while Shanann thrived in her role as a sales representative for a multi-level marketing company. Their social media profiles were filled with images of family outings, smiles, and declarations of love. But behind the scenes, cracks were beginning to show in their seemingly perfect marriage. On August 13, 2018, the peaceful town of Frederick was shaken by a grim mystery. Shanann, who was 15 weeks pregnant, had just returned home from a business trip in the early hours.
She didn't text me, which is really odd because she texts me every morning.
Later that day, when a friend, concerned by Shanann's unresponsiveness, couldn't reach her, she notified the police.
All County Communications.
My name's Nicole, and I'm calling because I'm concerned about a friend of mine. She's not answering the door. She's not responding to text messages, phone calls, and there's no movement in the house whatsoever.
I can't get a hold of her. I've called, I've texted. Her car's in the garage, her shoes she wears every single day right in the front door.
The friend had dropped her off earlier and felt something was amiss.
Scott, how you doing?
How's it going?
So this is the only vehicle she would have?
Only one that,
She would drive? Okay.
Police conducted a welfare check at the Watts home. When officers arrived, they found Shanann's car in the garage and her personal belongings inside the house. But there was no sign of Shanann or the girls. Chris Watts appeared cooperative, allowing the police to search the home and speaking to the media, pleading for his family's safe return. The facade of a desperate husband and father began to crumble as the investigation unfolded. Eventually, they find her cell phone.
Her phone's here.
Does she work?
yeah, she works from home.
Oh, from home?
She works, this is her lifeline.
Your kids take any medication?
CC takes, Singular, and Omeprazole.
The most significant clue involves all the medicines, including little Cece's EpiPen.
My daughter never leave the house without her phone or the EpiPen.
My detective just showed up. You just want to go talk to him? I'm going to get his info real quick. No.
As the hours turned into days, the investigation intensified. Friends, family, and the media began scrutinizing Chris's behavior, noting his lack of visible emotion and inconsistencies in his statements. One of their neighbors has a security camera in front of the house.
Right there above your head. What I did is said, I have the video surveillance. The only thing I caught was Chris backing his truck into the garage. And he was really swaying back and forth. The only time I saw him show any emotion was a little bit of nervousness when he was watching that tape.
Detectives soon uncovered a crucial piece of the puzzle. Chris had been having an affair with a co-worker, Nicole Kessinger. This revelation painted a possible motive for foul play.
Chris, go and stand up for me. I'm going to have you face that wall over there. Lift up your hands. Okay, go and face me. No earrings, necklaces, anything like that? Okay.
On August 15th, during a polygraph test, Chris failed miserably.
I've never cheated on my wife, and I fully suspect she has never done that to me.
Oh, okay.
Chris Watts scored -18.
Be right back.
Great.
Confronted with the failure, he broke down and confessed to killing Shanann. But his story was twisted. He claimed that after an argument, Shanann had strangled their daughters.
Who was she killing? Every book. Yes. She took both of them and I freaked out when she had me.
And in a fit of rage, he had killed her.
She just told me that Chris said he wasn't happy anymore.
The detectives knew this wasn't the full truth. The truth, when it finally came out, was even more horrifying than imagined. Chris confessed to the unthinkable. On the morning of August 13th, after Shanann returned from her trip, they argued about their relationship and his infidelity. In a moment of rage, Chris strangled Shanann in their bedroom. Tragically, Bella, 4, and Celeste, 3, were awake and witnessed part of the crime. Chris then faced the unimaginable task of disposing of his family's bodies. He loaded Shanann's lifeless body and his 2 terrified daughters into his truck and drove to an oil field owned by his employer. There, in the eerie silence of the early morning, he smothered Celeste with a blanket and placed her tiny body in an oil tank. Bella, aware of her fate, pleaded for her life, but was also smothered and placed in another oil tank. Chris buried Shanann in a shallow grave nearby, leaving a scene of horror that would haunt many. Chris Watts was arrested and charged with multiple counts of first-degree murder, unlawful termination of a pregnancy, and tampering with a deceased human body. The evidence against him was overwhelming. To avoid the death penalty, Chris pleaded guilty to all charges. On November 19, 2018, Chris Watts was sentenced to 5 life sentences without the possibility of parole, 3 to be served consecutively and 2 concurrently. He also received an additional 48 years for the unlawful termination of Shanann's pregnancy and 36 years for 3 counts of tampering with a deceased body. The courtroom was filled with a sense of sorrow and justice as the sentence was handed down. The Watts family murders shocked and horrified the nation, leading to widespread media coverage and numerous documentaries exploring the case. The details of the crime and the apparent normalcy of Chris Watts' life prior to the murders left a lasting impact on those who followed the story. Chris Watts is currently serving his sentence at the Dodge Correctional Institution in Waupun, Wisconsin. The story of Chris Watts is a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk behind the facade of a perfect family. The tale of betrayal, murder, and a family's ultimate destruction continues to resonate, reminding us of the fragility of life and the hidden secrets that can lurk in the most unexpected places.